Sean O'Shadi with MMA Fighting here, speaking to Dustin Poirier at UFC 236 Media Day. He takes on Max Holloway for the interim lightweight championship in the main event. And first thing, Dustin, man, you have had your eyes on this gold for a long time. The gold has changed, though. It is no longer the belt that you have to your right over there. It's a new one. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on this new belt now that you have a chance for it?
It's not the belt I, for years, envisioned myself wearing, but it's cool. It's different. It's just what's going on right now. It looks a lot more modern, but it's just what it is right now. It's just a new belt, man.
Yeah, I know this is a moment you have been waiting on for a long time in your career, so I'm just curious, man, now that we're 3 days out, what is the feeling like for you?
The feeling is I'm in the exact place in time where I need to be. It feels right.
When's the last time you rewatched that first fight before, you know, the lead up to this fight?
I haven't. I've seen pictures, you know, sometimes people would post pictures and stuff like that, but I haven't watched the full fight until the UFC came to the gym a few weeks ago and asked me to, like, talk about it while I watch it.
What were as you're watching it then, what are the memories that come back to you? Like, what do you even remember at yourself at that point in your life and where you were sort of just in this road?
I was just, while watching, I'm like just thinking, look at these kids, you know, look at me as a kid, just how far I've come, but just making things happen for myself, you know, just fighting. It's just crazy to see that.
No, I want to ask you a little bit about the fight, but first, you know, we've talked about it before, but you always donate your fight gear to a notable cause always after your fights. And this time it seems as though you're donating it to raise money to help build a playground for disabled children back home in Lafayette. Can you explain a little bit about just like the thinking that went behind that decision and why that was important to you for this issue?
Yeah, me and my wife started a nonprofit called the Good Fight Foundation, and every fight I try to use my platform for a big goal. We set a goal and try to raise money or do something for somebody, and that's what it was this time. We also do goals between fights, but there's like smaller things. But with this one, we were kind of going back and forth between two things that were happening in Louisiana that I was maybe thinking about trying to help out, and then I heard the story of this young kid who, you know, passed away from a very rare brain disease at a very young age, and he had a wish that we're trying to get together and raise money for a playground to be built for his school, so kids in his disabled class would have a playground to play. You know, wheelchair accessible swings and things of that sort. You know, a disabled playground. And he passed away before that ever happened. And I just feel like when I heard the story, it like hit my heart. I was like, wow, what a beautiful dream for a kid. You know, most kids want to go on shopping sprees or go to Disney or meet their favorite actor, or this kid wanted something that everybody could bend. I just thought it was a beautiful dream and wish, and I think we owe it to him to make it happen. So we're going to get the playground built at Prairie Elementary School in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I'm going to put a plaque right in the middle honoring Aaron Hill and make one of his wishes come true.
Was that an elementary school that was close to where you grew up?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the city I grew up. It's in the town I grew up.
I mean, you've been doing this now a while with these fight kids. I think a couple of years, if I'm not wrong. What is the kind of response have you gotten? Like, does it just generally, like, I would imagine, just feels good to some, you know, larger extent, bigger than the fight game, to be doing these kind of charitable works for, you know, your hometown?
Yeah, it definitely does. It feels good just to be a good person. That's what everybody should be trying to do. You know, I'm going to get in there and fight regardless. If I can help out as many people as I can by doing that, why not? You know, it's just something that started off. We didn't even have the foundation. Me and my wife were raising money and doing stuff with fight kits, and then we decided just to make a foundation and give it its own name, because I was doing it all under my own. You know, Dustin Poirier does this, and I just wanted it to have its own name. The Good Fight Foundation have its own identity, and it's really starting to grow, and it's great to hear the feedback and people support. You know, for the most part, people are good, you know, when it comes to stuff like this.
I mean, after this weekend, you're going to have gold around your waist. You're going to have a much bigger platform. How far do you think you can take this? How far do you want to take this?
I want to take it as far as I can. You know, I want to take it worldwide if possible. Right now, we're doing stuff in my immediate community in Lafayette, Louisiana. I want to go to some more states. I want to, you know, just help as many people as I feel. And it's kind of spontaneous, the things we do, because we don't stick to one goal. It's not only kids, and it's not only. We've done stuff with fallen police officers' families, and it's not whatever's going on that hits me in my feelings, and I say, this is important right now. I want to help out. That's what we do, and I think that's cool that we can bounce around different causes. We didn't set our sights on one specific thing, so the possibilities are endless, really.
Well, you know, back to the fight. You know, obviously Max.
Also, Eric Anders just now on the Escalator came up to me and said he's going to give me his fight kit too to auction off, and Alan Joban also is. So I mean, it's incredible to see these guys just pitch in, and it's going to help out a lot.
What is it like to get that kind of support from your fellow fighters here?
It's incredible, man. I'm just appreciative, and like I said, we owe it to this kid to get it done, and that's going to help tremendously.
Yeah. Well, back to the fight. The big, I think one of the main stories into this is people are curious to see what Max Holloway will look like at 155. He's obviously the champion at 145. You've made this move. You've done this exact same thing that he's doing. What do you remember about that first time of your transition from 45 to 55? What kind of challenges or surprises did you face throughout that week, and just how did you feel?
I assume it's going to be different for everybody, but for me, the weight cut was obviously I was cutting to 145 before, so it was horrible. The weight cut was the smoothest I've had at 155. And then my body started to develop more, that I'm eating more calories and working out and stuff, so it's got harder over time. But the first one was the easiest one, and I was kind of, man, I hope we're not worried about getting overpowered or something by these 55ers. And I went up, and they felt the same as the 45ers. That was my experience. I don't know how Max is going to feel, but it's different for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows it's been a long road for you. There's been a lot of up and downs, and there's a lot of uncertainty whether you would even get an opportunity like this. Now that it's finally here, like how can you just hold your emotions in check? Like how can you make sure that this doesn't overwhelm you or just make the moment too big?
That's all mental stuff. And I have to tell myself that, like, hey, this is just another fight. The strap might be on the line, but this is just another fight, and that keeps me like centered. I've done it. This is my 40th mixed martial arts fight. This is just another fight.
You told me a couple weeks ago that you look at guys like a Michael Bisping and you respect their career and you sort of admire with their road they took more so than maybe someone who hasn't faced that kind of challenge. Do you see a little bit of yourself in that type of journey, that type of Michael Bisping journey of overcoming adversity?
100%. I'm right there with those guys. Bisping, Lawler, guys who've been kind of overlooked, guys who've been put on the back burner, and just stayed chipping away, stayed firing, stayed true to themselves, and eventually got it done. That's what I'm trying to do here Saturday night.
Well, hey, last two questions, and man, I appreciate the time today. Max's style, it's such a pace-driven style. It kind of overwhelms people slowly with the pace and the pressure. I know it seems like a lot of people feel like that's even going to get better at 155. How do you deal with that? How do you overcome that sort of pace-driven style here in this fight?
I bring the same thing. I bring a very fast-paced, hard pace for these guys to keep up with. I have a lot of trust and belief in my cardio, and I'm excited to show it out there against a guy who's known for his cardio and volume. We fight fire with fire, man.
Well, hey, man, my final question, and this is a simple one. There is a lot of uncertainty still in this lightweight division. It's kind of a big mess right now, but Dana White has said that the winner will get Khabib Nurmagomedov next. Can you say with 100% certainty that your next fight will be Khabib when you win this fight on Saturday?
Yeah, my next fight will be Khabib.
Excellent. Thank you for the time, man, and good luck this weekend.